So in this video, I'm going to be exposing your favorite president, Donald Trump. And I'm gonna have to start off, I'm not trying to be funny in this video. It might seem like I'm trying to, but I'm really not. I'll get on to this picture right here. I'll, explain why I'm even posting this right here. So let me explain a little bit of American history real fast. Okay, so if you watch my old videos, you'll see that there was a lot of different countries fighting in America, fighting over who was going to take control over America. You had Rome, you had Britain, you had Spain, and you had France fighting inside of the Americas at that particular time period. And Rome changed their name to America so you wouldn't be able to figure all this out. Everyone else kept their name the same. But Rome changed their damn name, and the Roman Empire is being ran by the Republicans. See, this is all a secret society. Rome went into a secret society with the Republicans. They run Rome in America through the Republicans. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to, maybe I can say it in a different way so you guys can have a better understanding. Okay, so the Vatican sent over soldiers in the 1700s to take over America. Eventually, those soldiers changed their names to Americans. The British Empire sent soldiers over. Eventually, they changed their names to the Democrats. The French Empire removed themselves because they was bought out by Rome. The Louisiana Purchase was the French selling their territories to Rome, who later on changed their names to Americas. Spain was pretty much taking over South America and it's part of Mexico and the islands. That's why they speak Spanish down there. Okay? So the Republicans work for Rome and the Democrats work for the British Empire. All right? Now, the British Empire, when they came to America, and I will be explaining this. I got a video that I'm going to post up that's going to be explaining lots of this stuff, like Alexander the Great and what he was trying to do. I'll explain it, but later on, I'll explain more. When Alexander the Great came to the Americas and he seen Mexico, which is Egypt, he became the pharaoh and he wanted to join together the whole entire nation. Everybody together while he was the ruling emperor, the ruling pharaoh. But the thing is that he just died out of nowhere. So he wasn't really able to do so. So what we got here? So you got the 4 generals that took over, and that explains the story of those 4 generals going back home or going back to the regions from where they came from, and then building an empire, creating an empire with soldiers and people and different things like that. Because the generals already controlled a large amount of the military at that particular point. And that's how you got the 4 factions right there. So the secret societies, I'm just trying to break it down for anybody who's trying to figure out who the Illuminati is and what they're doing in the secret societies, the Freemasons and different things like that. What's going on with the Hollywood and what's going on with the Order of the Golden Dawn, the Order of the Phoenix. I'll explain it to you in this particular video, is that the Roman Empire did a ritual with their people to rule inside of this land, which is the Americas, for 400 and something odd years. And the Democrats, they did a ritual to do the exact same thing. Basically, they gave a blood sacrifice that to demons, to high principalities. So you have, these are certain orders. So let me explain to you what's going on in Hollywood and different things like that. And then I'll be able to cover this, which is probably going to make you laugh anyway. But what you need to understand is that the secret society orders, they come from the pretty much the Masonic order of Egypt. See, in Egypt, they was doing witchcraft. And when Alexander the Great came to the Americas, he uncovered a lot of the witchcraft that was going on inside of Egypt, and he started to practice it. Now, when his four generals found out about it, they started to go all throughout the Americas, Turtle Island or whatever. They started to go throughout and they started to uncover a lot of the different secret societies that was already going on over here in America. You know, you had the Canaanites, the Assyrians was practicing their craft. You had the, of course, the Egyptians that was practicing their craft. You had the Babylonians that was practicing their crafts, and you had the Persians that was practicing theirs. So when the generals, let's just look at Britain. When Britain came down to the South and started figuring out those territories, they started to collect the information on the Masonic orders that was going on down in the South. This is why, like in Louisiana, you have a lot of witchcraft that goes on in Louisiana, because that is originally Egypt, where they were practicing witchcraft. So the British Empire took on those practices, and now they do that to this day. But what the British Empire did was they took those practices to Britain, and they started to do those practices in their castles and offering up sacrifices to demons and different things like that. Because when you sign your name in blood, and the thing I'm going to get onto it, this is like going to scare Caucasian people, because you have to have this understanding. They did a sacrifice, a blood ritual, to where for 400 years they had to continue to offer up these the satanic sacrifices to please these demons for wealth, fortune, and power. And what I mean by power is like literally political power, and also spiritual power, like levitation, the ability to read minds, witchcraft, to live a long life, to be able to heal themselves, different things like that, because they have these entities living inside of them. And the demons want blood. The demons don't like anybody, but they're like, hey, if you give us what we want, then we'll allow for you to be supernatural and have super capabilities. So that's why, like in Louisiana, people are literal vampires, because they're possessed by demons and they give them those powers. So you have the Democrats who go through these Freemasonic orders, and then this is where you get witchcraft from all over. It's not just the Democrats, you got it all in Hollywood. You know, the British Empire started the Jewish fake state of Israel in 1948. And then in 1948, they created Hollywood, which this is where you get the celebrities doing the rituals and different things like that. And then back onto it again, where I say your favorite rapper, Jay-Z, is throwing up the pyramid because it has to do with the Egyptian pyramids, which is the practice of the Freemasonic order, which is the witchcraft. So in 1776, the British Empire created the Illuminati. Now, the Roman Empire didn't have nothing to do with that, but they had their own little order. They had their order of the Phoenix. Okay. And so this is where you get the order of the Phoenix versus the order of the Golden Dawn. And they don't like me talking about this, but I care less. You already know how I get. So Donald Trump represents the order of the Phoenix. And these people, they're beefing and warring with each other because at this particular time period, the Lord is going to separate these people and cut them down the middle because, you know, what do they say that, you know, a nation divided against itself can't stand, or empire divided against, you know, their own people can't stand. So we all know what that saying is. And so this is why in Hollywood, they do these sacrifices and different things like that. Now, I don't want to change nobody's spiritual beliefs or anything like that. You know, I follow Christ. You know, I believe that the Hebrew Israelites were over here in America. I believe that Utah was the main area of Israel. And I believe that the Son of God came and he died for our sins and he was a black man. And I also believe that when Christ went down to the core of the earth to preach to the spirit, I believe that he released the spirits from the good side and the bad side so they can get a chance to know him. And I believe that we come back regenerated over and over and over again. And I believe that hell once existed at one particular time period, but he released the souls from hell. And we have to keep coming back. And depending on what your past life sin was, I believe that you come back to have to face that karma. But when these witches and warlocks, like in Hollywood, they do these rituals to where when they come back, they get fortune and fame over and over and over again. And they don't have to live pretty much, you know, deaf, dumb, and blind. They don't have to live like that. But I also believe that they do these rituals where they don't die, so they don't have to be regenerated. I believe that they clone themselves and they just keep coming back in clones. Like if they die, they come back in the clone. They awaken in the clone because their spirit connects to that clone, which is the receiver. Now, this is the type of information that they don't want me to talk about because it awakens the world. And at this particular time period, they block my channel and they don't want this information to get out there. Meanwhile, you see like somebody can post up a stupid video that has nothing to do with anything and it gets millions of views. Meanwhile, this is like really hidden information that these Illuminati suckers don't want to get out there into the world for people to study it and have knowledge and wisdom. So Trump, you have to understand that it's like a race to who can control the U.S. before it sinks and before it's taken over by the New World Order. And so that's the reason why you had the Democrats and the Republicans fighting or whatever. But their time period is done, and the rulership of this particular country is going to go back to negroes. But here's the thing, though. Anyone who is attached to the Roman Empire, pretty much anybody who's Italian, and this is just something that you just have to have the understanding on. If you give your life to Christ, you can break this curse, but Italian people have put their people under a curse through a bloodline. Those bloodlines are cursed, and there's many of them, and you might not even know you're even attached to this bloodline. You probably could work at Burger King. Meanwhile, your great, 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 great grandfather then sold his soul, and then now you're part of the curse. So you need to break those generational curses by repenting and giving your life to Christ. Because when this 400-year rulership is all said and done, those bloodlines will be cursed, and they will have to suffer through the all of the different things that's going to happen in America. Most of the bloodlines that had the Negro Israelites enslaved or did bad things to the Negro Israelites, they're going to have to pay in blood because their rulership is done. Now, if you don't believe that what I'm saying is true, and you say, well, it doesn't make no sense. I'm just going to give you something to think about. The Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes, they cursed their bloodline and they were able to be taken down. And this is God's people. God said, if you have to stay prayed up, stay fasted, and you will be safe. Just worship me, honor me. And the Hebrew Israelites kept falling and kept being cursed and kept falling into sin, and nations were taking over them. And so now you had the Greek Empire that was able to take over the Hebrew Israelites, and that's why slavery happened. White folks came to America and different stuff like that. And then black folks and Spanish people had, not necessarily Spanish all the way, but, you got Puerto Ricans and Dominicans mixed up in there that are part of the tribes too. They have to suffer the curses. And this is God's people who are suffering the curses for 400 years. So if God is going to allow for his people to suffer the curses for 400 years, what do you think is going to happen to you when you were never God's chosen? And your ancestors gave over their bloodline, like they sold their soul, they gave up their bloodline. What I mean by that is like literally someone's great grandfather joined the Freemasonic orders and cursed every baby that came from that particular male from that point on. So every child that came from, if he had a daughter, a son, whatever, it continued to keep spreading through that bloodline. And you had millions of people who've done it. So therefore, your bloodline is cursed because they sold your soul. Like all the Hollywood children are going to be cursed. All of the political children are going to be cursed. And the local witches, the local warlocks, the local Satanists, it's all cursed bloodline because God is going to give his people back their land, which is America, and then back, he's going to take the curse off of his people and then curse his people's enemies. But they curse themselves, so that's the reason why, because these demons don't play fair. Because the thing is that witchcraft is going to be cut off at a particular time period. And so when witchcraft is cut off, these demons are not going to get their sacrifices. Therefore, they're going to be mad and angry and turn on the people that supposedly sold your soul over to them. So I know I can go on and on and on about that, but I'm going to actually make a video about it just in case you guys wanted more information. I got to make a longer video explaining a lot of that. But let's get on to this particular picture that I wanted to show you of your favorite president pooping his drawers. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing that Donald Trump likes to eat McDonald's. So let me play a video. Actually, I'm going to play a bunch of videos. So just stay put. I'm going to play all these videos, and I'm going to get back to you and explain some stuff. So here we go.
Trump eats nothing but McDonald's, drinks Diet Cokes, sharp as a tack, 78 years old. Like, okay.
Open it up. Keep it tight. We got the salt on it. Never touches the human hand.
Very good.
Nice and full.
Thank you.
Good. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr.
Look
President.
at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you. How you doing?
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But I don't want to take food away from anybody. If you like a cheeseburger, a McDonald's cheeseburger, a Diet Coke, which my boss loves, and you should be able to get them. If you want to eat Hostess Twinkies, you should be able to do that. But you should know what the impacts are on your family and on your health.
And I want to give a very special thanks to McDonald's for slashing prices for your most popular items, bringing back extra value meals, and I hear you're recommitting to the affordable options of Americans that we really know and love, all of the items that we love. And I hear that McDonald's is playing a very big role in that. We're getting prices down for this country, and there's no better leader or advocate than McDonald's. And I believe the next time maybe I'll have to be back here again next year if you get them down enough, okay? Everyone loves something at McDonald's. There's always something to have. I like the fish. I like it. You could do a little bit more tartar sauce, though, please. Seriously. So I made the French fries. The guy was really good. He had a great wrist. He was, sir. He was going like, sir. Yeah. It was not that easy. But I got it sort of finally. Not the greatest, but I get it, pouring it in, asking him all sorts of stupid questions. But it was very interesting. Amazing. A little thing is not, it's a little complex, right?
The diapers is not a joke. It depends. You know, Diaper Don is trending, but it's based in reality. He would often soil himself on The Apprentice set. He's incontinent from all the speed, all the Adderall he does, the cocaine that he's done for decades. You know, all that stuff has a laxative, and it has an effect on your bowels, and his are uncontrollable. He's worn diapers since probably the 90s, but I saw it firsthand in the 2000s on Celebrity Apprentice in late 2000s, and we'd have to stop the show and change him, you know, and that was Keith Schiller's job. He would take him off set, he would wipe him down. Our nickname for Keith was Wet Wipes. It's not a joke. It's happened several times. And you've seen it happen while he's in office. You've seen he was in the Oval Office with Erdogan, and you could clearly hear him sort of evacuating himself. He did it in front of Senator Feinstein, Dianne Feinstein, at a press conference. So he does it, and he almost sits there like and unaware of it.
So today we're here in a bipartisan fashion to show leadership in an effort to end this senseless violence. It can be ended. So today we're here in a bipartisan fashion to show leadership in an effort to end this senseless violence. It can be ended.
Wrote, I'm genuinely surprised how people close to Trump haven't talked about the odor. It's truly something to behold. Wear a mask if you can. And
Fox News knew Trump pooped his pants. They had him sitting on a black towel and not the white sofa.
Going to be, I mean, the way they're going, it looks like they're just about going to be topping records, hopefully soon.
McDonald's is here.
Excuse me?
Your McDonald's?
I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just letting you guys know that, like, McDonald's will make you poop your pants, keep eating that nonsense every damn day. But we all know by now that the cabal, they be putting all kinds of mystery meat up inside of McDonald's. So if Trump is a Satanist, or if he's a witch or a warlock, whatever, a white hat, whatever he is, he will have a craving for that non-existent hamburger, like that fake meat. So I'm just giving you guys an example of what these people be doing and what they be into. You know, there's a lot of mystery meat that goes on, and y'all could just use y'all imagination. But Um, before I get off on this particular video, um, I believe that they're going to put in, they want to still rule the U.S., but they want to put in, they know that negroes are going to get back their land, right? So this is the reason why I keep saying that Kanye West is the Antichrist, is because white folks can no longer rule the Americas because their rulership is done and over with. And they know that it goes back to the bloodlines of the ancient people that originally ruled the land. It goes back to the bloodlines. So Kanye West is part of those bloodlines that ruled the Americas in the past. And so they will hand over the rulership to him, but then give him the orders from a bunker. Like pretty much they'll be in a bunker giving him the orders, and he'll be the Antichrist, where black folk will accept him just because he's black. And it's sad to say, but Negroes will accept you just because you're black. Like, you don't have to have like nothing else. It's just, hey, you're a black man. You're in office because you're black. That's it. No qualifications whatsoever. That's just how Negroes are. And that's how easy it is for the Antichrist to rule over the Hebrew Israelite. That's what it is. And so that's why I keep saying that Kanye West is going to get up in office. And a lot of people are like, no, no, no. But there's just so many different ways that you could connect these dots. Is because, and after this, I'll get off of here. People say that the Antichrist is an Assyrian, and they say that he's a Roman, and then he's going to come from Esau, and then which is Edom. He's going to be a Persian. He's going to be a Hebrew. They give you all these different. He's going to rule Babylon, and they give all of these different identities to him. And y'all guys are all right. All of it is correct. And I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, so first of all, we all know that the devil was an instrument in heaven. Like, he was an instrument. He literally was made to make music for God. And lately, Kanye West has been making music for God, like, gospel music. So that's one key. And then also, if you look at my America is Egypt and Israel map, you see that Assyria is in Chicago. Kanye West is from Chicago. And he, I should play a video because this is actually a very important kind of situation. And I'm saying, matter of fact, hold on one second, because I'm going to find this particular clip. I'm gonna find this clip. Hold on one second.
I spent a year in China when I was in 5th grade. I used to speak Chinese, like ni hao ma, xie xie ni.
Kanye used to speak Chinese too. What happened to you Chinese? Can you say anything?
Ni hao, cai xian.
Xu is one of China's most famous female investors, and she attended Nanjing University in 1987 when Donda West taught English there. And in a recent interview, she talked about what that experience was like and meeting little Kanye. Here's the clip.
问一下，您在南京大学的时候有没有特别难忘的或者对您影响特别大的老师呀？
有个老师是黑人老师，他叫 Donda West， 我就是印象特别深刻。当他走到我们教室，首先他打扮的花枝招展的，然后进来以后他挺胖的，然后穿的特别漂亮，然后来了以后就在黑板上直接走到黑板就给我们写，他就在黑板上写，他用英语写的那个这个中文的意思大概就是说，你是一个奇迹，你是一个奇迹，你是独一的，你是独一无二的，你是一个人生的奇迹，在过去的500年没有一个人像你，在未来的500年也没有一个人像你。哇，当时一天我都震撼了。你想想看，我是在一个四川大竹这么一个山沟沟里长大的，来到南大以后就这样的一个老师给我讲这样的话， 特别受鼓舞。说完我就特别喜欢这个老师。后来我那个整个南大这个毕业的学的论文也是写的黑人文学，因为我特别喜欢他。当时我还记得特别清楚，这个老师他是单亲妈妈带了一个孩子，那个小孩呢挺调皮的，经常就在地上跳霹雳舞。我们经常说Kanye跳霹雳舞，他就开始跳。当时我问我老师，我说当老师你为什么给你儿子取一个名字我们都不知道怎么发音呢？他这就是独特的地方，就大家就记住他了，我印象特别深刻。但是我后来就跟这个老师，跟当老师就失去联系了。过了很多年以后，我不是在南大有一次演讲，就提到那个当老师，把他那个话又复述了一下。后来有一个老师，我们也另外一个辅导员嘛，他跟我说，你知道吗？这个当老师，他的儿子都出名了，他儿子是什么唱 raps， 因为我不怎么听 raps 的，他叫他儿子现在非常有名，是个 star 什么的。后来我在网上一查才知道，Kanye West 的。所以我觉得这个当代的这个教育方法可能是真的挺管用的，他就是绝对的给孩子赋予自信跟信任那样子，我觉得他还是挺。
Okay, so now you see that he speaks Chinese. And I'm going to explain that to you because we all know that China is the dragon. They all represent, China represents the dragon, which is going to be part of the beast of the New World Order or whatever. Now it says that he speaks like the dragon. So Kanye speaks Chinese. He just admitted it. He just, talked about living over there and speaking it. So now you got him speaking like the dragon. And then, okay, so let's look at everything and make everything a point. Okay, so he makes music for God. The devil made music for God. He is a Syrian. Chicago is a Syria. He also speaks of the dragon. He also, Esau is a Hebrew because he comes from Abraham. So Kanye West comes from that bloodline of Esau, but he also is a Hebrew. And then at the same time, he's coming through the Republicans who I just said represent the Roman Empire. So then he's coming as a Roman. And then Washington, D.C. is Babylon, which he's going to be ruling from Babylon. So there you go. So when you hear me say Kanye West is the Antichrist, I'm not talking out of my ass. I actually have receipts for it. It's not just like, hey, I'm just picking out some random rapper and there you go. I'm studying this stuff and I'm trying to present it to you. You guys are looking at me like, oh, this guy's crazy, but you're not connecting the biblical dots. But if you don't believe that America is Israel and Egypt and Assyria and Babylon, if you don't believe that, then you will never be able to connect these dots either. And so Kanye West is friends with Elon Musk, who's be giving out the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. And Kanye West, I'll show you a video of him talking about, Elon Musk being one of his good friends. So I'll show you that right now. So you got Kanye West being friends with Elon Musk. So there you go. You got Kanye West is the Antichrist. And also, I believe that fool's a robot too. But that's another video, another subject. Check out my other videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now you guys have an understanding just like me. But I'm going to close it with this video right here. Close it with this video.
Yeezy's going to be bigger than Apple.
Right. Except that ultimately we will all upload our minds to the computers and everyone will just be robots.
Yeah. And that's exactly what Steve would have wanted.
That's just, that is just a ridiculously false statement. Because...
No.
Yes.
The human being is the iPhone and our Earth is our office. So I'm Steve Jobs and the Earth is not...
Well, uploading our minds, one could say, like, is this a wise thing to do? Isn't this dangerous?
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. So.
But that's just the next level of this video game of life.